Good morning. It's another day of working on the truck, the ramp trays. That's a weird noise. Anyway, so start out this morning figuring out my layout and then fabricating a jig. Doesn't look like much. Oh, we've got a truck on the tracks. I don't know if you can see that. Maintenance truck going backwards. That was the noise I heard. Well, I've got bungs that I'm losing. Here they are. That have got to be welded in for the lift. They're going to go right in down here. They've got to be the same every time. So what I've done is I've fabricated a jig that I can put up in here to give me my spacing and my layout so that I can get that bung welded in. So that's going to sit right down at the bottom flush. Anyway, so that's how we're going to operate the lift rams, the gas struts, whatever you want to call them, for lifting the doors. Not 100% sure how this is going to work yet, because I'm probably going to need more than 2 hands to do this, but we'll figure it out. I may end up having to go ask for help. And then I guess I'll need to sand that side too before I put the bung in. All right, well, I'll bring you back in a little bit once I get further along and I know exactly where I'm at. Oh, I guess the other thing I was going to say is the other thing that I've got to do is I've got to put a notch in this where it can drop down over the top of it, hinge down over it. Not too big a deal. Anyway, so those are kind of what I'm working on now on the design stage. Here I am. And once I have a better idea of how that's working, then I can figure out where the second bung that goes on the door goes. And that will let me then put the cross beam in. So, got a little bit to do, but we'll get there. Okay, good or bad, those are installed. They should stay put. Not the prettiest welds I've done, but they are sufficient. They're tight. So, all right, now I need to go make the other side notch around these. So I guess that's my next step. Okay, I've got pilot holes drilled. They are on the bottom, not the top. That was an important point that I wanted to make sure I didn't mess up, as that would be a bad day. Oh, that would not be fixable, I don't think. Maybe, but it'd be a pain in the butt. I think I'd have to start over. Anyway, all right, pilot holes are drilled. Now it's time for I'm going to go with a 1-inch hole. Do I want that, or do I want 1 1/8 inch? Let me think about this for a minute, what size hole I want to drill. We'll get back to you after we drill it. Okay, here's what I was thinking. The hole is in the 3/8 of an inch up, which is the center of my bung. So, took that out. I put the hole side in here, looked at where the edge of the weld is, and went, no, I need to go bigger. Because that's not going to clear the weld. Put this back together. Came over to the bar, looked at it, double checked my measurement. Center of the hole is 3/8 of an inch, but the bottom of the bar is a 1/4 inch above the bottom of the tray. So I'm actually 5/8 of an inch up, not 3/8 to the center of my hole. So I'm good. We're going to go ahead and drill it. Okay, there's our first hole. My original concern was how much material we might be taking out of the structure, but that's not much. I'm good with that. We've still got 1 7/8 of the bar left, which I think is plenty, especially once you realize that we have a 3/16 plate on top that's also bearing weight right beside it. So I think that'll be fine. All right, flip it over and we'll drill the other side. And then we'll notch these for coming over the top of the bungs. I have to confess, I really like this digital angle finder that I found. Somebody told me about it on YouTube. It was on Amazon. I went out and bought it. You figure out what angle you want. Well, you can do it. It'll either tell you what an angle is, or, like in this case, I think I want to go around 15 degrees. 90 minus 15 is 75. .75 degrees. Lay it in here and mark it, though I think I'm going to swap it so that this one's on top. It'll lay in there better. All right, I can't do this with one hand, so I'll bring you back in a minute. Okay, we've got it laid in here at 75 degrees. The bottom one now is on the bar rather than the top one. It lays in there nicely, and we scribed it, and we've got a nice line here for cutting this edge. Now I'll lay out this side and decide what I want to be. I think I want to be about 30 degrees on this side. I think that'll make me a nice layout. We'll do it and see what it looks like. Okay, we played with a bunch of different angles. I guess it's an arc from over here where my finger is. So 15 degrees on this side will be fine. I could even go straight, but I don't think I will. I think I'll go 15 degrees. And then I've got 15, 30, and 40 degrees marked over here. I think 30 will do fine. If it isn't, we could probably sand it a little bit to bring it down the rest of the way. All right, so I'm going to cut 15 on the left and 30 on the right. And then we're going to flip it over to the other side, and then we're going to fit it and see what it looks like. Okay, these are cut out, marked, sanded. We'll take them over and fit them and see what they look like. Well, this came out pretty superb. I think I might go with the 40 degrees, just because I like to make sure I have enough clearance that nothing binds. But other than that, I'm delighted with how that came out. Okay, I like that a lot better. That will definitely clear and not hit anything. That looks really good. I am delighted. All right. So from that bung to my next bung is either 12.5 or 13 inches, center to center, which will be fun to figure out. But we can do that. And then I think the next bung is going to be up near the top. Somewhere up in here, and then just right beside it will be just past it will be the first crossbar, and then there'll be another one down here, and then the latch. And who knows what this end is going to do, whether it's going to stay square, if it's going to angle. We'll figure all that out after we get it basically together. All right. I think I should probably move over to the other side and work on getting it to this condition now. I think I'll take a break and then I'll start working on that one so that we have two in this same condition. Okay, at the moment this is more of a mass fabrication. We clamp both sides together. We cut the angle in it. We calculated and cut the angle. We're drilling the holes for the whatever they are, the bungs. We're going to mark and cut these 15 and 40. And then I've got to trim the 2x3 down 1/16 of an inch for it to fit properly, but we'll verify that. I already know it needs to be cut down. I'll verify that it's only 1/16, that it isn't something more, but it should be the same as the other side. They should be matching. And then from there we can look at setting it up and assembling it, and that should get us pretty close to where we're at on the other side. But I sure like that angle finder for being able to do repeatable bends or angles. And there's my 2 angles, just right there. Just perfect. Okay, this side's all fit and welded up. It's just got to be sanded out, which I'm going to do after I take a break. And then we can look at, we got to clean up the rails over there. Got to clean up these rails, at least at the top. And then we can look at putting in the bungs. And that should have us at the same point we're at over here. Cool. Okay, right or wrong, we've welded in one of the cross tubes. Ooh, it's warm still. So we're getting closer. The only thing I don't like is, as always, things pull. So this is a little tight at the back end. Oh, it's perfect fit there. A little bit tight back here, but I don't think that's going to hurt anything as it falls to the ground. So it's pretty much a perfect fit here. Alright, well, we'll keep moving and see where we get to. I still haven't done the, whatever those things are. Can never remember the name of them. These things. Still haven't done them yet, but we'll get there. I'm just tired. It's hot out here today. Alright, I'm wasting film, so I'll bring you guys back when I have more to say. Okay, we have both of these welded up and test fitted. They fit great. I do not have the bungs in this side yet. We'll get there probably tomorrow. It's been friggin' warm out here today. Got some sanding in there and then put the bungs in. Then we can assemble that door. This side, the bungs are in. Everything's ready. We have worked on, this door is now assembled. And test fit. Then I came back and did some more welding on it after I test fit it. I'll probably do some more spot welds on it later. I'll probably add some in here. But for the moment, for tonight, I think I'm done with it. I'll flip it over for you and show you what the top side looks like. Okay, here's the top side. The wings stick out. I'm going to be careful down here. I guess it's this side that I just welded that's warm. Anyway, so there it is. It fits the truck perfect. Found what may be an issue with our latches. They may be too tall. They might hit the ramps when the ramps are inside. So I'll have to think about what I'm doing for that. It may end up being a different latch. I don't know. Haven't got to that point yet. We'll figure it out when we get there. Anyway, I think that's a wrap for tonight, or at least until I get some fluids in me and take a break and a few other things. I've turned the gas off. I can turn the welder off. And you never know. I might come back and put that other door together or do the bungs or who knows. Anyway, for the moment, I'm done for today. Subject to change. Okay, been working on stuff today. I've got the bungs put in, got some of the grinding done, enough to start figuring out how this is working. We are working now on figuring out the hinges. So that's my next step. So we're starting to drill them. I'm trying to decide how I'm doing the hinges, so I'm kind of working my way through it. Right now, I'm just drilling the mounting holes. I've got one side laid out, starting to get those drilled. It's hot out here today. This sun is intense. Steel's burning my hands. I can't drill with gloves on. I can't feel if I'm in the hole or not, or straight, or what I'm doing, so I got to do it without if I want it to be accurate. So, rough day today. Okay, working on the hinge for the door. Got the first one in. The bolts on the two edges drilled and tapped and set. It is perfectly flush with the lid, and that's when I realized that I messed up, because I did not account for the 1/8 to 3/16 of vinyl lining, Line-X, whatever you want to call it, that's going to be on top of this. This hinge is too low. I've got to raise it up. So what I think I'm going to do is, the only holes that are drilled are these two. I think I'm going to take the bolts out, take the welder, try to fill the hole, sand it smooth. Then I'll come back, reset the hinge at the right height, drill the two center ones, get them drilled, tapped, get the screws in, and then we'll come back and we'll drill these above those other holes. Joy. Oops. Okay, well, if you don't do it right the first time, do it again, right? All right, I'll bring you back in a bit. Okay, here was how I set up my hinge for the first time for drilling it. So now we are going to add a 3/16 plate underneath each side. I almost did that the first time, and then I went, oh wait, no, that's too high. Yeah, that was what I was supposed to do. And I kind of knew it, but then I forgot what I was trying to do, match. So, all right, well, we'll get this laid out. We'll get it re-drilled, re-tapped, and reset, and then we'll do it again. Okay, we've got the hinge moved to the proper height, which is feeling good, all the way across. Now all I have to do is get rid of those old holes and make new ones. And we should be in good shape. But theory number one, or whatever you want to call it, seems to have worked. So I like that. We'll go from there. All right, decide what I'm going to do next. I don't know if I'm going to weld and shut down the air conditioners because it's warm in the trailer without them, or if I'm going to go over there and start grinding and prepping that one, which is probably more likely. I don't know. Yeah, I'll probably, I don't know. We'll figure it out and we'll let you know. And the camera does not want to shut off. Okay. No camera shut off. I wonder if it's the heat. Alright, let's see if we can get the battery out of it and do something with it. The joys of filming while you work. Okay, catching you guys up. For our next trick, we're going to be back over here. So, catch you up. These two holes are correct. These two are too low. I'm going to take the welder, weld them up here in a minute. Sand and flush, and then we're going to put the hinge back on, re-drill those, tap them. This side, we got the hinge in and mounted. All 4 screws are in it at the correct height. Then we went back over there. We laid the framework in there, got it squared up and cleaned. With the hinge in, as you saw on the other one. You can probably see the marks on the hinge. So we had it in there tight. We took and did a couple of good tack welds. Lifted it up. It hinged beautiful. Pulled the 2 bolts that held it to the truck out. Brought it over here. Clamped it tight. Drilled the 3 center holes. Tapped them, put them in. Cut the welds out, ground them, put it back on, drilled and tapped the 2 outside ones. So now we're getting ready to, this is now ready to go on the truck as soon as we fix those 2 holes. So we're going to go do that. And then we'll work on that cover, which will be a little more challenging because it's already got the lid on it. Probably should have waited on that, but that's all right. And we're going to try to get these covers on, or at least one of them tonight. I will show you when I have this redone and bring you along. Alright, so my next step is welding. Okay, those are filled in. Next step is grind them smooth, and then we'll put the plate back on and re-weld and re-drill. Okay, those are ground down. So now we're going to remount the hinge. Okay, our drill bit has a point right in the center on the tip. Self-piloting bit is what they call it. All my bits are that way, most of them. So that gave me the ability to chase the hole. And we now have a new pilot dimple on each side. So I'll drill a pilot hole in that, and then we'll come back and drill it for tapping and tap it. Okay, we now have new pilot holes, so we can drill it for the tap size and tap it, and it'll all be fixed. Okay, and voila, through the magic of television, it is all fixed. Bolts go right on in. Alright, we'll put our hinge on, we'll bring our top over, bring it over, hook it up, hinge it back, and see how it all fits. Okay, hinge is in place. Brought the door up here. Just pulled the screws out of it that were in it from when we tapped them. And it is time to see how it fits. So you guys are going to get the first view. That is way too high. Don't know if we're going to be able to have the door open fully, but nope, we will not be able to. So this is going to be more of a challenge than originally thought. So, all right, I will bring you back when I have the door attached, because I'm going to need to figure out how I'm doing this. Okay, well, plan A didn't work. I think I have something now that'll work. Yep, this is working. I was hoping we might be able to open these all the way, but that's not going to happen, and frankly it doesn't need to. I mean, that's why it has rams on it, or gas struts, or whatever you want to call them. Is to hold it in place, hold it up. This is why we're starting this without having a cover on it. We'll add the cover because I did not know how this would work and I wanted to find out, and it really helps if I can see what's going on inside, at least for the initial stages of it. That's why I chose to start with this one. Alright, that driver right there. Bring you guys with me. I'll stand up. And it hinges really nicely. And that is what it's supposed to look like. Look, there's a rock from the mower way over there. Alright, so that clears beautiful on the bungs. This will stay much more square once we have a lid on it, keeping it tight, keeping it straight. Alright, so that is that one. Hinge, ready for a lid. My back hurts. Alright, I guess it's time to start looking at that one and putting it together. Step one, I guess, is to take 2 of the 4 screws out so that once I have a 75-pound lid on it, hinged up, I don't have to take out 4 screws, only 2. Alright. Okay, cover set inside. So it's tight to the hinge on both sides, and we got 2 small tack welds to hold it so that we can hinge it open and do it. I may trim a little bit off of this corner. Probably should have built it without the cover like I did the other one, then I could square the cover to it. When I look down here, I'm just a little bit out of square on the cover, and that's a little bit that I'm off down there. Yeah. These welds are not getting ground out. That is, I don't think there's any way that's changing, but we'll see. Never say never. All right, I'm gonna go get some help so I can get that open and get the screws out of it. And then I will work on getting that one drilled and tapped. Good morning, everyone. We've got a low battery, so we're going to try to make this quick before we change out the battery. Slept on things this morning. I really didn't like that I was restricted on how far I could open the ramp covers. If I have to do any service work on anything and take it apart, I've got to try to create a support in here because I won't open past there. I really didn't like that. So I got up this morning, I took this apart, looked everything over to see what it would take to raise this up, and it is doable. So we are raising these hinges this morning. Raising these hinges up so that the doors will open all the way flat even after the rhino lining's on it. That way, if I need to work on something, or if I'm still struggling, don't know what I'm doing on the latch because it's going to hit the ramps, this would let me leave the rams off, the gas struts, open it up all the way, lay it open, pull the ramps out, close it, drive up, drive down, open it all the way, put the ramps in. I'm not trying to hold the ramp door open while I'm putting the ramps in and out, and I just think this is a better setup, so we're redoing all this today. Rain's supposed to be coming in tomorrow, so I've also got to paint all these seams today. Anything I've sanded with this raw metal or fresh weld's got to be painted this afternoon, so it's going to be a busy day today. So, alright, I will go change the battery, get back on what I'm doing, and bring you back as we can see more progress. Okay, got a little more charge on the battery, bringing you guys back to see what the holes look like. So, this tube is 3/16 of an inch thick, so I'm plenty comfortable having 2 sets of holes here with that spacing. I don't think it's going to cause me any issues. So I'm good there. I've still got to take all this lip off, sand the bottom, but that can happen after it's rhino lined. Again, prioritizing work. That may happen up in South Dakota or back in Washington, I'm not sure which. It doesn't affect anything I'm working on other than just being clean and not being sharp. But yeah, it's just a matter of cleaning up stuff up. But all right, I'll bring you back in a bit. I'm going to put the hinge on, get the tray here set back in, get it tacked, open it up, pull the hinge, and then look at re-drilling that. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. And then we'll move on. Okay, so this is my setup that I use to keep the hinge straight. Kind of jigging it up a little bit. That way the hinge doesn't fold in underneath itself. It's clean and straight. There we go. So that is straight. Now when I put this piece on, in here it'll butt up and this will be a clean joint. It won't be cocked or crooked or... Alright. Okay. Tomorrow's supposed to rain. We are cleaning off the deck in preparation for rain so we can start painting any seams that need painted. All the new stuff's done. Starting to get this ready to grind seams. So we got 1, 2, 3, basically 4 seams left to grind, and then along the sides of the center storage. Now it looks like maybe a little bit more on that ramp door. Clean up a little bit. Oh, and yeah, in here. So a fair amount of grinding, but not too bad. Once that's done and painted, the L-track can go down. Clean off any rust, paint anything that needs to be cleaned up from that. And this is, other than the flagpole pockets, which we'll work on over the weekend, I think this is just about ready for Line-X and getting coated. A little bit of grinding, a little bit of cleanup where the 4x were, but that's all minor. Got to weld the ramp doors better, finish getting them welded up. I got to trim the length of that one. I think I told you back in the beginning when I did it that I was holding off on cutting that because I wasn't sure how it was all going to work. And I am not going to fall down the ramp. So says the fine print. Okay. I like where we're getting to. If I didn't have rain coming in, I'd be a lot happier, but this is coming out awesome. We got a little bit of trimming to do. A little more welding, a lot of grinding, a little bit of painting, and then we're ready. All right, that's it for the moment. Okay, everyone, here's where we're at so far, falling down the ramps. The ramp doors are together. They're not fully welded. In fact, this one, the only thing that's welded is that leading edge. I'm going to have help to try to open this and fold it back so I can take it off to get it all clamped up and welded up. And that one will take a little more welding. There's a little trimming on both of them to do. Plan to do that probably on Friday. All the welding's done on the deck. Lots of grinding to do. We did all the cleanup on the edges. I was going to paint, but I think I'm going to hold off now because the fine metal shavings are getting into the wet paint. I don't want to do it too many times. So for now, I think I'm going to hold off on painting. I'm going to do a little bit of grinding, see if I can get a couple of these seams up here done. Maybe I'll go down there because there's no fresh paint down there. Do the seams up here on Friday. Do the doors on Friday. Get that all painted, this all repainted and done. And then that leaves me the weekend to redo the stake pockets for the flagpoles. Try to see if we can get rid of this egging that is in it. It's making them so tight. I have some thoughts on that I'm going to try. We'll see what it does. Can't be any worse than it is now, because I would just go with these ones then. But we're going to try to rebuild those over the weekend. Any touch-up we need to do on Monday and Tuesday. And then Wednesday we go take the truck in. I don't know if we're going to move up to the KOA in Dallas, or if we're just going to run the truck up to Plano and drop it off Wednesday afternoon, tow the Jeep up, and then drive the Jeep back. Let them have it until probably Monday. Pick it up Monday morning or Friday night, or if they have it over the weekend, working on it over the weekend, we'll see. We'll play it all by ear. We were planning on going and seeing our son up in Omaha, which Dallas puts us a couple hundred miles closer, 150 miles closer. But I don't know if he's going to be able to get time off. And being a truck driver, he might not even be there for us to hook up. So we got to figure that out, because if not, then we're closer to South Dakota leaving from here, which means there's no reason to go up to Plano and with the trailer, just drop the truck off and pick it back up. So, all right, well, here's what we've got. I'm going to do some grinding tonight. Dinner's cooking. Going to try to touch up all the paint before I go to bed, put some stuff away, because we're supposed to get rain tomorrow afternoon. Not a lot, about a 1/4 inch, but I don't really want a 1/4 inch of rain on my welder or on my welding helmet or some of my other stuff, so, or on a raw truck bed. So we'll work on that stuff after dinner, getting that all packed up and ready for the night. And then we're going to have another video. We're taking tomorrow off. We're going to have another video for you coming up, hopefully, for what we're going to do tomorrow. And we'll go from there. You never know. You might even see that video before this one. Who knows? All right. I'm going to call it a night with you guys, and I will pick you up when I come back out, probably Friday.